trying to get me telling my story.
Yeah. Yes.
But the theatre was, you know, you can't make any mistakes. And like everything we did had to be fresh, perfect, the way the person wanted it, and it was great. It was great. Loved it.
Would you say that Dunedin is one of your favorite cities in the world?
Well, I've got lots of favourite cities that people have never heard of, but it definitely had this relaxed feeling like a small town, and yet when we finished on Sunday we could get out of town into the countryside within, you know, we've got to Queenstown in 2 hours.
Yes, totally,
so
yes.
It was lovely, and it was very Scottish when I was there, and that small town approach, everybody knew each other, there wasn't crime, nobody bothered locking the doors, things like that.
Is there any place in Otago Uni that was your spot?
No, the Otago Peninsula was special because before I met my wife, before I got married, I was lucky enough to have a friend, Karen Albertani, who was married to an Italian chef, and we lived in a big house called Hurst Green on the peninsula side, and he was a dentist.
Really?
And
my goodness!
He and his wife went to Europe for 2 years, and we rented the house, and we had 3 dogs and a cat. And the cat used to behave like a dog, and we all went together, walked through the countryside, no dogs on the leash. Wonderful world. And Hurst Green has a lawn, and it looks from the windows in the house, we look onto the water, and nobody can see the house.
Portobello Road. Portobello.
You know it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you look up the house, Hurst Green, you've got Glenfarrick Gardens. Glenfarrick Gardens, we were the first house beside the same driveway in, and then you go left is Hurst Green, and to the right is Glenfarrick Gardens.
When was the last time you went to Dunedin?
This is embarrassing. 1989. Oh no, 1992.
92.
I went back
It's
for
changed.
something business related, and I could have gone back any time. I thought it's got to be. I want to go when I feel special to go back, and I haven't been. And I'd rather take someone with me. You know, obviously my ex-wife's been back a few times, and her family are there. But maybe I just haven't found the right person to take.
What about seeing you there this December?
See you there this December.
We'll be there for his graduation, somewhere, which could fall anywhere from the 7th to the 12th of December.
Yeah, that's what graduation is. That's easy for me to do, by the way. I might think on that.
And there's a double celebration because my husband and I are celebrating our 30th year together.
30?
We've been married for 30 years.
Well,
94
and
to
you will
now.
have it there.
We'll just have a dinner somewhere with the boys, you know.
I'll be very interested because I know the food scene. I was at the forefront of New Zealand food or becoming something before the
Yes.
and I know now just from reading and my children telling me because they've been there that it's really up with Australia. Australia thinks it's better, and of course New Zealand thinks no, we're better, and it's this fusion cooking, bringing in the Asian touch and mixing it with French or Italian, and the coffee culture.
Oh yes, big coffee culture there, huge.
I'm big on that too. I can tell you where to go in Kuala Lumpur for coffee, Phalan. Also the best croissant in Kuala Lumpur is Phalan.
F-L-A-N?
Double A, got like 3 A, F-L-A-A-N.
Right.
It's just a play on the word. They have got croissants that could have come from any place in Paris.
Ooh.
I'm not saying that lightly.
F-L-A-A-A-N.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's beside the Four Seasons, what do they call it?
Yes, I know what that
Four
is.
Points.
Yeah, I've
right.
seen that
It's
building.
in the same building.
Right.
And I go there for breakfast every morning.
Which hotel are you at in Chowkit?
Just down from there, it's called the Rainforest.
The Rainforest. Okay.
Just a little place. What I do is I go with the backpacker stuff for a bit, and then I've got places for a month, like lovely hotels with swimming pools booked for the next part of my trip. But Kuala Lumpur, I thought, let me just take something cheap and cheerful,
Yep.
and it's been very, very good. And I said, move out there, go down to Singapore, and then see where next. But coffee, definitely, and they have Ethiopian coffee, by the way.
Oh.
And I've lived in Ethiopia.
Oh. So you know exactly where to find what you're looking for.
We say it can be, what's the word? I forget in English. We say it can be a blessing or a curse, knowing too much about food.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. I don't fall out with people, but I'll spend half the day when I used to running around, sniffing, looking. I don't go by reviews.
You go by your nose.
Yeah, and also to see who's eating there. And if it's local people and I'm looking for a Chinese local I've got the right place.
So do you want to eat Chinese tonight?
I've been eating Chinese at the high-end one, but I've also been eating at a place called Mingles, which is very European and very, very tasty food. Mingle it's called, or Mingles.
Right.
And it looks European in design, and it's again fusion, a bit of Malaysian food mixed with a bit of European.
Have you tried an old school Chinese restaurant?
No, but I could. I can eat frog's legs, by the way.
Me too.
I've eaten.
My husband refuses.
I've eaten dried grasshoppers. Right?
Protein.
Lovely, lovely. So I'll tell you one from New Zealand. The only thing that ever my Maori friend that I went to university with, he took me down to eat. So I've eaten all the traditional mutton birds. Have you heard of mutton birds? Right, I've eaten those. So it is a bird. They catch them as babies. They tie up and catch them, and they taste like fish. And they're called mutton birds. And it's lovely. But he took me out on the peninsula one day, and he said, "We're going to get sea urchins." I said, "Okay, well you pick the ones. I don't know which one we're going to pick." And I said, "How do we eat them?" He said, "No, we just crack them open now, and you've got to just swallow and eat them."
Yep.
I said, "Right." And then I went, the only food that's ever made me sick. It was awful. I don't know, and I don't do this thing. I thought, was he just winding me up? But no, they eat them, and I didn't really. I thought I'd just swallow it and see what happened, and it was awful. It's the only thing that's ever stopped.
I hate to ask you this. Why did you have to shut your restaurant?
We sold it for a good price, which I should have stayed there. The biggest mistake I made is selling it. We were on a high, but the pressure of keeping up there, I thought, let me do something different. My accountant said, "Alex, stick to your knitting." Biggest mistake I ever made. And 2 days off a week, and small staff. We only had 6 of the staff, and we were making seriously good money because people were paying for high-end quality, and they spent lots. They never came in and just bought one thing.
Yeah.
A la carte,
Totally.
everything on the menu.
Yeah.
And
Last question, Alex. Is there any place in Otago University that is your favorite place in the whole campus?
probably the library.
Library.
Outside the campus, I could rattle off the pubs, but they
Yeah.
probably don't exist now.
What about the clock tower?
The clock tower, yeah, we remember that. But as I
Beautiful,
said,
huh? Beautiful. In spring with the cherry blossoms.
as I
Oh,
said, it's a very old, you know, for New Zealand.
Yes,
It's an old university.
oldest university, the
Yeah.
first university.
So I said, you know, we're comparing to Europe, but for New Zealand,